Hello, my name is Myra, and for today's video I wanted to talk about the books that I'm planning on reading in July. So July happens to be my birthday month, Leo season, and I don't know, I'm like, you know what, I'm ready to just enjoy this month and hopefully get some good reading done. But I put together a list of just the books that I've either been wanting to read for a while or that just seemed really interesting. I am a mood reader though, so if something else, you know, kind of catches my eye or my attention before another book on my TBR, I'll probably just skip that one, but it's okay. It's almost my birthday and I can do what I want. But anyway, let me just go ahead and jump in to the first book that I'm planning on reading, and I do have my iPad here, so don't mind me. So the first book is Praise by Sarah Kate. Now, all I know about this book is that it is a Salacious Players Club, and it's basically a club for adult activities. That is what all these books are about. I know it's a series, and I do know that the first book, it's an age gap. It's ex-boyfriend's dad and his mistaken identity, since I believe she goes over to pick something up from her ex-boyfriend's dad, and he thinks that she's someone else, and they get into this very intimate situation before they figure out the real identity, and then he offers her a job. That's all I know. And I guess she ends up actually like legitimately working for him, but now she's kind of curious because of what happened. So yeah, it goes from there. So I'm definitely, I mean, I've been seeing and hearing about this book for such a long time, and I'm like, you know what, now is the time to do it. So Praise by Sarah Kate. The other book that I really want to read is One and Only by Carla Sorensen. So this one, all I know is that it's a marriage of convenience, and I know that for him it would be a custody thing, like it would help him with his custody battle that he's having. And with her, she has a dad that is dying, and so she would be fulfilling his wish. And I don't know, that kind of like touched me a little bit, and also just because it sounded similar to My Life in Shambles, which I just read in June, where he also, it was like a marriage of convenience for his dying dad, and I really loved that book. So yeah, I hope that this one also will turn out to be a good read. And then I have a book by the one and only Sophie Lark, Minx. I see blurbs on Instagram, and I don't really know what the book is about. All I know is that it is a billionaire romance, so I know that he's a billionaire, and I think she's an escort. I'm not 100% sure, but anything Sophie Lark, I mean, I've just been reading it. I mean, I know that this looks like I'm eating, but literally like eating it up and just reading. I love Sophie Lark. I really like her books, and this is her newest book, so I'm just like, yes, to read for sure. So Minx, Sophie Lark. I'll let you know what it was about once I finish reading it. Another book that I've heard a lot about and I've never read, but I'm finally going to read, is The Pool Boy by Nikki Sloan. So I do know that it's reverse age gap, which I just read in June also with The Forbidden Man. Loved it. So I'm hoping that this will also have similar vibes. And I also know that this is a book 2 in a series, but I don't think you have to go in order. So I think it's The Doctor, The Pool Boy, and then The Architect, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. But I know this is a book 2, and I know that a lot of people really like it. And also like The Pool Boy, and it's July, and it's here, I'm here in California, and it's summer. I think reading The Pool Boy by the pool, I don't know, I think it's gonna be like a whole, like a vibe, like if I'm living it, you know. So that was my thought process when choosing this book. Then the next book I have here is Taken by a Sinner by Michelle Hurd. So I know that in this one, her mom marries into the Greek mafia, or she marries basically the head of the Greek mafia, and she has a daughter, and her daughter ends up basically being like bullied / protected by now her stepbrother. So I do think this is taboo. Like, I think it's a romance between her and her stepbrother. Now obviously I'm thinking that they're both going to be adults when this happens, so we'll find out. I've heard mixed things about this one, but I honestly am someone that just because someone says, oh, I read it and I didn't like it, like, it's not going to make me not want to read it. Like, if it sounds interesting to me, I'll read it and I'll judge it for myself. So we'll see how this book is. And then another book that I really want to read and I've heard a ton about is Flawless by Elsie Silver. All I know is that this is a small town enemies to lovers romance. And I do like small town from time to time. And again, for this month, it being my birthday month, I kind of just want to read a little bit of everything and just kind of see like what I like and what I'm vibing with. And small town is really cute. I think I like small town more during like the holiday season for some reason, but I kind of feel like I need a little bit of like small town, like close-knit community living type things. I don't know. So, and I know that she just had, I think, the 4th book in the series come out, so I figure, well, if I end up liking it and I go through the rest of the series, there's a brand new book, so I can kind of be caught up in the series. Then the next book that I have here on my list is The Wrong Bride, and this is by Katerina Mara. I know that in this one, so she loves, the heroine in the book loves the hero, which is her sister's fiance, but obviously he doesn't know that the little, like his fiance's sister is in love with him, and for some reason the sister doesn't show up on the wedding day and she ends up having to step up and marry him. So I'm thinking this is some sort of like marriage of convenience or maybe even mafia, but I don't really know if it is. All I know is the sister doesn't show up, so now she has to marry him. And I'm thinking this wouldn't really happen in real life, so I think this is like a marriage of convenience slash possibly mafia type book. Not sure. We'll find out. Sounded interesting. We'll report back. The next one that I have on my list that I've heard so many good things about is Mile High by Liz Tomford. So in this one, I know that the heroine is a flight attendant for a professional hockey team, and he happens to be a professional hockey player. I believe though that they have someone in common that they know, and so that's how they kind of interact more. I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard really good things about it, and really this month I just want to read the books that people are saying are good. Like if they're good, or if I've wanted to read them for a long time, it's my birthday, I want to spoil myself and just read all good books, you know? The next book that I have on my list is A First Flight Final Fall by C.W. Farnsworth. So this one, I know that it's a soccer romance, and again, I read like 2 soccer books in June. I play soccer in a women's league, so now I wanted to read another soccer book. This one, I know that she is like a pretty top tier, like professional, like women's soccer player, and she runs into this famous player at a park somewhere, and she tells him, hey, like how about we challenge each other to a shootout, which means like let's see who scores more goals, and whoever wins, you know, just gets to win. And so he accepts and ends up deciding to take up on her offer, but he loses and she wins. And all I know is he is a playboy. He's known for getting around and having fun with women, and lots of women. And she is someone that's very dedicated to her career and wants 0 distractions, no commitments. Like she just doesn't have the time for it. So already I'm like, look, the fact that he's a playboy and the fact that she has 0 interest, it's just perfect. Because then it's like, they can't help it. So then it's gonna be kind of like, I want him, I want her, but I don't know. And then the fact that she beat him, and he's probably gonna try to get retribution because as an athlete, or like as someone that like has played sports and is very competitive, like I would think that you would want like a rematch. So I don't know, it just sounds really interesting, right up my alley. We'll report back. And then I do have 3 physical books that I've had for months, and it's kind of embarrassing that I haven't read them because these all have good reviews for the most part. So the first one, and this one I've had the longest physically, that I haven't read is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I've heard really good things about this series, and I actually bought this book because I kept seeing it around, and I finally saw it at the store. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna read it, and I just haven't gotten into it. If you haven't heard of it, I know it's a fantasy book. I know that there's some smut in here. I guess it's like a fairy world. I really don't know all that much about it, but I know I've heard a lot of really good things about it, and I've had it for so long, so I'm finally gonna give it a chance. And then I have Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. I've heard nice things about this one, and I didn't realize how big it is. Like, it's huge. Oh, well, the bonus epilogue, let's see. It's like 554 pages. No, that's the author's note. 552 pages. But all I know about this one is that Naomi is on the run. So from her fiance and stuff. And so she goes to go rescue her twin sister, Tina. So then to this small town where she's settled. But when she gets there, Tina ends up leaving. Like, she literally disappears when her sister shows up. And Naomi ends up finding out that she has a niece. And all I know is a lot of the people in the town don't like her twin sister, but they don't know that she's not the twin. I'm assuming maybe she'll come clean. I'm not 100% sure, but I saw this book and I've had been seeing it everywhere, and the cover just got to me because it's just really pretty. Like, the colors, it's like my favorite colors. So yeah, and it just says he's absolutely not falling for the good girl. That's what it says here at the bottom. So I don't know, it seems like this is also a small town, and I've had it physically, and yeah, I'm gonna give it a try and see where I go from there. We'll let you know. And then last but not least, the book that I have seen everywhere and anywhere, and I've heard that the physical copies are sold out in a lot of places, but I actually found this one at Walmart or Target. Walmart, is The Fourth Wing. But The Fourth Wing. The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I have seen this book everywhere. I've seen artwork for it on Instagram, which just makes me think, okay, if people are dedicating this much time to a book, it has to be good. And I found this one, and first of all, I love the colors. I mean, gold and black, hello. It's like my go-to colors, like some gold jewelry with black. And then I also happen, like, this one has, I don't know if all of them do, but this one has like the black sprayed edges, and it has like dragons on here. And I don't know, I really liked it. The only thing, like, I mean, it gets annoying with this, but I did take this off just to kind of, you know, so obviously the cover doesn't look that special, but then it still says, you know, Fourth Wing, and it's in gold here. And this, it just, this looks so nice, like just a black book. I love black, if you can't tell. But yeah, I don't know, it has like the map here, and it has another map over here as well. But anyway, I think this is just like the regular version, I'm sure. But all I know for this one is basically the heroine in the book, Violet, which, love the name. She ends up, she's part of this world, which I'm still not really fully aware of what it is. That you basically have like different quadrants and different parts of where you kind of can become like a part in this society. And she's basically been in the scribes, so she's in like the one, like the record keeping for like history and stuff like that. And her mom being like one of like the head of the like the whole like training and like the village or whatever, she ends up telling her daughter, no, you're gonna be a writer, and you're gonna be like trying to get a dragon, except you either get a dragon and get bonded, or you die. Because even while you're trying to get a dragon to like bond with you, think of Avatar, if you've seen the movie Avatar, where they have to like bond with the dragons, they might also kill you, and you might die in the process of trying to get it. And she has zero training. She literally has, I think, only like 6 months of training, when her mom told her, hey, actually you're not going to do this, you're going to go into that. And she basically has no choice. So this is what that book is about. I know that there's a second book that's going to come out in August, I believe. But so far, based on all the things that I've read about this book, I think I'm gonna love it. And I have a feeling that this book is going to make me just drop everything and jump right into fantasy and just screw everything else. So we'll see. But this is very exciting, honestly. I'm really excited. I actually used to read a lot of fantasy, and I just didn't anymore. And then I started reading romance, but I'm really excited to hop into like a fantasy romance book. But those are all the books that I am aiming to read in July. We're hoping for a good, successful July. And by successful, I don't even mean the number of books that I read. I just mean some good quality books. So we shall see what July brings. But if you have any recommendations, please let me know below. If you see any of these books that maybe you are going to be adding to your own TBR, please let me know as well. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, a great reading month, and I'll see you in the next one.